Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined back by the one, the only Miss Cassandra Elvira Peterson.
Yay. I'm clapping for myself. I don't know why.
Listen, you gotta listen. There's nothing wrong with clapping for yourself, right?
Yeah, there's nobody else here to do it. My dog, and he doesn't have hands. So,
How are you today? What is going on? I assume you're in LA.
I am sort of in the middle of moving. So it's very, very frenetic here, very crazy. Everything's a mess. I threw up my little Elvira shrine behind me, and here I am.
I see Elvira dolls. I see the book. I see it all. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I have this year, I have a whole catalog of merchandise on elvira.com.
Listen, everyone needs a little Elvira in their life. Well, I have to start by saying the last time you were here, it was the day or the day before your book came out. And when I introduced you and I gave you all these monikers and I said, Mistress of the Dark and, gay icon and Queen of the Macabre, I said, I think soon I'm going to be saying New York Times bestseller. And you said, oh, like from your lips to like God's ears, and let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, I guess I was right because yours cruelly, it debuted at number 4 on the New York Times bestseller list, and it stayed there forever.
So insane. I mean, so it's your responsibility, baby. I'm like, thank you.
Well, you lived the life, wrote the book, and had all these experiences. So I don't even want any responsibility other than, Cassandra, I told you so. I knew it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It worked. It worked. You got to say that more. Okay. Because I was blown away. I mean, of course, I hoped that would happen, but it was a distant dream. I didn't really think I would get on the New York Times bestseller list. I really didn't. So I was in shock. It was awesome.
You were really shocked at like what a success the book was.
I was like, what? You should have seen me. And, it didn't happen. I didn't hear about it right away. And so I was sort of like disappointed that, it came out and I didn't get on. And then all of a sudden, a week later, because they told me, oh, you'll know Wednesday. But Wednesday, there was nothing. Thursday, nothing. Friday. And then the following Monday, they told me, and I flipped out.
What was that like? I mean, I imagine writing this book was not easy, in terms of putting your emotions in it, revealing things about yourself, and just the process of writing a book can't be easy.
Yeah, no, it's heavy. And when it's about yourself, writers, I have a new respect for writers. I mean, I always knew it was a hard job, but not this hard. Writing it. And then when it's about yourself and your life and all the people you knew, it's so introspective and cathartic and a million different things. I mean, things came up that I never would imagine, would have affected me that way. I mean, I found myself in tears so many times writing the book, and also parts of the book that I did not want to write, that going to sit down to write were like, it was like pulling teeth. I would have rather had, needles stuck under my fingernails or something. It just, some of the things I just, look like, do I have to talk about this, and then I thought, well, I really do. So yeah, it was good, it was bad, it was everything in between.
What did you not want to write about the most?
Well, my marriage was a really sore spot, because it eventually didn't turn out so well. Writing about my husband, my ex-husband, in a kind of balanced way, not to make him a giant villain, but also, letting people know why I didn't stay with him was important. Writing a lot of stuff about my mother was really difficult because we had a really hard relationship. And I still loved my mother, even though she was not the greatest mom in the world, but, she was my mom. And so it was kind of hard and creepy to talk about some of the things that she did and said. And yeah, so there were a lot of moments that were hard.
I get it. If I had to write a book and relive certain moments of my life, I'm like, oh, please, I'd rather just push that down and bury it and never deal with it again. That's just kind of how I like to live, right? Just
yeah. This was like a 1-year-long therapy session. I swear to God, it was like going to therapy every day, all day for a year. It was just like digging up the crap and the feelings, and it was really hard. A much different thing than I thought I would experience.
What, like when you heard from fans and the media and just in general, like what shocked people the most out of like all these revelations and stories that
Well,
you've had.
the thing that came out that flipped everybody out was that I was with a woman, you know. Nobody was ready for that. And apparently we kept it a pretty damn good secret because nobody knew and everybody was surprised. Now, our closest friends and our relatives knew, but outside of a very small circle of people, you know, even my second tier, you know, group of friends who I've known for a long time did not know, which was kind of shocking for me. I would have thought maybe they suspected, but most of them had not.
What did, so like focusing on these second tier friends, like were they
I hate to call them second tier friends. They're very, very good friends, but you know, not around me every day.
Totally. Were they just like, not, they were just blown away? They were like,
oh yeah, blown away. I mean, some were a little freaked out. I think I have to say, you know, but the good thing is because they're my friends, they all embraced it. They love T already because she has been my assistant and they all know her. And so it was a little surprising for them, but they all said, you know, the only thing that's important is that you're happy and she's happy and then we're happy for you.
Why, how did you decide to include that in the book and like basically come out? Or was it just like, I'm writing a book, this is what I signed up for. If I don't put everything in here now, what's the point of writing this book?
Yeah, I had, when I first thought about writing the book, there would have been the book that was just more about Elvira, how I became Elvira and some of my past and all that. And I'm a huge reader of autobiographies. And I particularly like the ones that are written by the person themselves, because you can really feel, you get a sense of who the person is, you know?
Totally.
As opposed to having a ghostwriter. And I know that the books I enjoy reading the most were the books that really spill the beans. You know, those are the ones that are interesting and that you love, and you end up loving the person even more. And so I thought, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to put it all out there. What do I have to lose? You know, I don't know. People stop buying my Elvira junk. I don't know what.
Did you worry about that, like from fans, like the reaction to coming out? And if you worried about it, were you worried about like your gay fan base or your straight fan base more? And I know there's a lot of categories in between there. I'm just summing up gay and straight for the art sense of this question.
I think honestly, I worried more about my gay fan base because I hope they embraced it, but I was feeling like, what if they think I'm a big fat hypocrite and I was lying to them? And here I was going, oh, I love, you know, LGBTQ community. And meanwhile, I'm one of them and I'm not saying anything about it. So I really worried that maybe some of them would think I was a, you know, big fat hypocrite. So that scared me more. Now, the straight people, I knew that there was going to be some horny old men out there who were just not going to like the fact that they didn't have a chance with me anymore, you know, and I hate to tell them they already didn't have a chance with me anyway, but, and it's funny, one of the things that happened is on my social media, I won't say which platform, in one day, the day after the book came out, I lost 11,000 people, just said, Elvira, you lied to me. I don't respect you anymore, goodbye. And, but I got 60,000 new followers the same day.
Wow.
So, you know, I mean, there were people, it was funny. I know it was mostly straight older guys who just felt